Howdy, howdy, everybody. Back at it again with the Cam Show featuring Cameron and the talk show. I think I'm going to start calling this Smash Broadcast. I think. Once I can put more time into it and get some stuff behind it. This week is a little rushed due to work stuff last week, and I'm moving a day forward with this because there is now a new Melee bi-weekly in Vegas right now. So I'm going to start attending those on Tuesdays. So if you're in town, Tuesdays at Press Start Gaming Center, go for it. All right, so let's get into it. The big news this weekend was DreamHack, right? Tons of people showed up. I think about 250 for Melee, around 700 for Ultimate, and 250 for Brawlhalla. I mentioned Brawlhalla for a specific reason. We'll talk about it a little bit later. Actually, I'm going to try to look that up right now. But DreamHack Atlanta. So, basic news here in the Ultimate Top 8. You know, Sam Sora. Why does it do this to me? Why does it do this to me? Why does this do this to me? Why is it doing this to me? Okay. Sam Sora, Mars, and DeBuzz. You know, those are the household names, right? Samsora Mars meeting in winners finals. Okay, not a surprise. Mars and Samsora meeting in grand finals. Not a surprise. Dark Wizzy almost taking out DeBuzz though. Pretty cool. Dark Wizzy taking out Cosmos. All right, I can dig it. Good shit to Dark Wizzy there. Yeah, I don't know. Not much to report there. Basically, just the typical, right? The biggest reason why I even want to talk about it is because of Brawlhalla here. If any of you know about Brawlhalla, you know Sandstorm is the man to beat in it. You also notice too, if you follow any Brawlhalla, that Boomy isn't in this top 8 here. Boomy's like legit number 2, right? Where's he at? Cody Travis, Simple, Noel, all good names up there. I like Noel here. I talked to him at Low Tier City in Dallas. Pretty damn good player, and basically the only person to give me any time to talk about Hitbox and Smashbox stuff. All the rest of them sort of looked at me weird. But it's great to see him do so well. Taking out Cody Travis here and taking Simple to Game 5. Almost making it to Grand Finals. Pretty good on his part. Now, the biggest thing the reason why I wanted to even bring up Brawlhalla was because of how much money Sandstorm won from this. To give away part of it, the prize pool for Brawlhalla was $100,000 at this event. This was the finals for Brawlhalla this year. This was the end of their league, their circuit. I'm going to pull up a tweet here that you'll all enjoy. Mars winnings from DreamHack, which had a total of nearly 700, right? Brawlhalla, 210. But you can't really, I think around 210. You can't really make a judgment on that as far as entrance goes because this is the final event, right? There was more going into it than just these 210 people. So it's kind of a difficult um, comparison to make here. Kind of unfair. But that's, you know, this is still a huge, huge thing, right? We're talking about, oh, why can't, why aren't these pros attending events all the time? Why are they always just focusing on streaming? And then also, why the hell aren't people playing Brawlhalla? Two sides of the story there. Basically, yeah, we could talk a little bit about that later. I do want to bring that back up. So I'm going to put this much later in my tabs here. But that's the huge story, in my opinion, from the Brawlhalla DreamHack, is just how huge the pot was. $32,000 for first place. Okay. That is a lot more money than most, like 95%, maybe 99% of Smash and FGC sponsored players get for salary in a year. And this guy wins it in one tournament. Pretty big stuff. Pretty big stuff. That's how you get people to focus on you, right? Mars did good. Got nearly $5,000. That will pay for stuff. And I don't think Mars is getting a huge salary either, so yeah. Okay, so there's that. Good shit to Sandstorm for choosing the right game and also being really good at Ultimate. He has a great, I think he plays Ken now, but I'm pretty sure he's picking up Terry. And for Melee here, this is a cool little story. Let's see if we can get a better look here. Okay. Mewtwo King showed up, was first seed. SDJ none, second, third seed, makes sense. Captain Faceroll probably was fourth seed. I don't know exactly. Did Lucky go? Story looks about right up here, right? None, it has a history of beating SJ. Like 2-1, I would say. Swooper, Samus player, losing a Spark, a really good Sheik. Makes sense. Calvar, Blue. Calvar's the Marth, right? Boo, I do not know who that is. But I expect this because I just know the name. Now here's where things get interesting. SCJ has not been playing well against Sheiks recently. He lost to Nut at main stage. Did he lose to Plup, or is that None? None lost to Plup. And then he loses to Spark here. I think kind of showing, SCJ talked about it a little bit on Twitter. He talked about how he plays amazing in doubles and in day one singles, and then if it's a doubles day one, singles day two, but on day three he just can't put it together. Might be an energy thing, who knows. Got to find a way. I feel like it's kind of tough with Captain Falcon. You can't really autopilot very much. But that's probably me being biased as a Falcon main. Loses a Spark. Captain Faceroll beats Calvar. Barely, it looks like. Calvar did really well against Captain Faceroll. Then we get a Sheik Ditto here. Captain Faceroll versus Spark. That was a close one. I expect that one to be a close one. Two pretty damn good Sheiks. Not surprising here, Captain Faceroll beats None. But here's the great part. Up here. Captain Faceroll 6 O's Mewtwo King. Wow. Now, this isn't a super major, right? This isn't a super major win for a Sheik, but this is certainly a major win, right? Mewtwo King was there, SUJ was there, None was there. That's a pretty big win for single main Sheik, right? Good shit to Captain Face Roll. And I think unsponsored, Sparksman sponsored. Quite a bit of unsponsored players here in the Melee set. Top 8 here. Just like how this probably still says Echo Fox. Echo Fox is gone. Alright, let's take a look at some few replays here. So, the beginning of the set of, or beginning of the game for Samsora and Mars here. Oh my god, this is why I love playing as Zero Suit Samus. Oh, yes! That air dodge read at the end there. I love it. That was tricky too. So, let's see if I can show here. Right about there, Peach could have landed, right? He puts that there. He puts the Zare out there. And Samsora's like, okay, I should be safe for a turn-up. But this has very little landing lag. Watch what he does. Right away. Kind of a 50-50 here, right? He can go in with an attack or go in with a grab. Samsora chose the wrong option. And he shielded. Gets grabbed. Okay. Nothing really comes of it. It's ultimate. Shit like that happens all the time. This is the best though. Zare, forward air dodge read, down B. Oh, God, I love it. I love Zero Suit Samus. See, he was tricky with his aerial movement up there too. Because he tourney winners, right? Comes down with the Zare. Oh, it's so sick. Zero Suit Samus is so sick. I just tried to Alt-Tab in the full screen mode. I wish it worked. This one's pretty sick. ESAM doing ESAM things with Pikachu. That's so weird that he kills. I guess he's pretty high percent. Oh no! How does he set this up? Back air. He purposely hits him with up B. Again with up B. Oh yeah. That's so sick. I love Pikachu too. So smart. Doing the up B through him. What is Fox gonna do? I don't know. You gotta hold that. That was a good reply. Here is the end of the grand final set between Samsora and Mars. Look at the score here, right? Samsora's on the verge of resetting bracket. Huge stock league, and he doesn't get that kill. Oh my god.
Okay, the fall away tether doesn't get anything off of it though. I can't believe that didn't get punished, man. I feel like that should have been game right there. He's got another out. Look on life what he's gonna do here. The standard get up the back air. It's gonna be
and the rage there. He was almost at full rage. Full rage is at 160, right? Normal get up. Jumped right away. Back air. That's so weird. Mars.
From behind takes DreamHack. Atlanta, oh my god, he's so good. He's so good. He's so good.
I want to see Samsora's reaction. Like, gosh, darn it.
The back air is going to be enough in Mars. From behind takes DreamHack. Atlanta, oh my god, he's so good. He's so good. He's so good. I don't know how he does it. Business on top, the party on the bottom. I don't know what it is. Don't let the PJs fool you.
That's a great quote. That's a great quote. Business up top, party in the bottom, because he's always wearing PJs. Let's watch some Melee. This is I believe this is none. Just fucking destroying
A five-star
Dreffen.
pretty much. Dude, I thought we
Why
had a
did he
shot
go
at seeing
Zelda?
Game 5 and with Dreffen and Momo.
I don't know.
God.
He
That's what
shouldn't
you get
have.
for going Zelda, though. A five-star pretty much. Dude, I thought we had a shot.
Oh, he was smiling right when he did it too.
God.
Okay,
That's what you get for going
none
Zelda,
is
though.
sick.
A five-star pretty much. Dude, I thought we had a shot at seeing Game 5 and with Dreffen and Momo. God. That's what you get for going Zelda, though.
Yeah, Falcon players gotta smile more, man, and show that you actually enjoy the game. Jesus. SCJ, like Nun's trying not to smile, like he does his scoot over. Oh, I hate. It's like, yeah, that was pretty cool, but I don't want to smile and show anybody. Anyway, SCJ's like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. And then SCJ, this is what he does in grand finals.
Pretend to play for him. That's funny. You know what's funny? I've talked to Nun before, and he really doesn't like B moves. He's explicitly told me he thinks Falcon Punch is like the least cool.
Oh, Falcon's so good.
That was it. Oh, that's it. That's it. No, oh my God.
Falcon is so good. What other character could do that in that situation?
You know what's funny? I've talked to Nun before, and he really doesn't like B moves. He's explicitly told me he thinks Falcon Punch is like the least cool.
Like, holy shit, dude.
Told me he thinks Falcon Punch is like
Confirm of that, and then like, oh, all of a sudden I have a kill move coming after you. Oh, and I could kill you off of my edge guard.
Oh my God! What on earth? I not believe.
And none doesn't even like fucking fist bump him or anything. Come on, guys. Come on. These unwritten rules, man. Can't believe it. Oh, here's Cobalt doing Cobalt things in a Cobalt game with his Cobalt character. Featuring Calvar doing a actually really awesome combo. Kind of good DI there.
Good little combo for Calvar. Gets a good 80.
Here we go.
Roll back throw, son. Is he gonna read him? Great recovery by Calvar. Oh my God! He never touched the corner.
Cobalt's so cool, dude. I've always loved this fox. All right. Got it. Nope.
Great recovery by Calvar. Oh my God! And he never
So sick.
That was crazy.
So sick. And I believe Cobalt loses that. Set, at least. And then, I don't know. I'm not really impressed by this clip, but it was one of the top clips.
There's a lot of opportunities in this matchup, I think.
None is the pink Falcon. He tends to go the non-neutral Falcon in the matchup in this Ditto against SJ at least.
Almost surprising when the other person messes up, right?
This is the cool part.
Oh, that was a perfect choice. There's nothing SJ could do there. Literally nothing SJ could do.
He's known for that. He's known for making other people up him.
Great choice by Nun.
One of my, so he's playing.
Anyways,
I played bad on that playing fun.
we'll watch that later or talk about that later. All right. So yeah, DreamHack seemed pretty cool. Pretty good viewership, I believe, too. And some cool games, some weird upsets. Good shit to everybody. But on to this video here by, what is his name? Dan Cushing. Cushing? This dude is from New England. He was bred in the Melee games. So, he started competitively when Matt.Zeb started up the Melee games in the New England Smash scene. And this is him providing insight on what it means specifically for the Melee community, but this also helps out with the Smash community in general on what we can do to help take advantage of the upcoming documentary that's going to come out from Sam Hogs. That's, if the last one was any indication, it will get millions of views and people will watch it for sure. 6-minute video, almost 7 minutes, so let's watch it and see what he has to say.
Hey everyone, this is Dan. Some of you might know me as Bonk Cushy. I'm a Pikachu player from
Massachusetts. And now that the brief intro is out of the way, let's get on with the show. We need to talk about what Matt.Zeb did for New England Melee in 2014. This is not about taking a trip down nostalgia lane. This is about organizing and priming new Smash players.
Love
A
it.
quick preface to the video, I'm using my experience in getting into the Melee scene as a way to spur a productive, positive conversation about organizing. This isn't to claim authority on the subject, but it's my truth, and we don't want to keep our truth in boxes. Anyways, when I first went to college, my neighbors had an LCD TV and a Melee setup. He thought it'd be a fun way to interact with people on the floor. And he was right, it was. We play the shit out of 4-player free-for-all Melee with random stages. A semester goes by and my friend asked if I wanted to join him at a Melee event. Sure, why not? I met this guy named Matt at his house and he ripped me to pieces. Discouraged, but Matt encourages me to keep at it, so I do. Eventually, a fair amount of people show up, some from our own college as well, and we hear about the Melee games. Single elimination cruise bracket between competing schools. My friend and I met the others from our school, get a fifth, and all of a sudden, we don't just play with one another. We all know we're dependent on our collective presence, our collective strength, if we want to enter, compete, and win this thing. Before any of this happened, though, I want to emphasize that I was already playing Melee, just in a completely different context. For the sake of this video, I'm going to call this priming. I was primed to get to that point of joining a TMG team because I had a step of experience, the 4-person free-for-alls in between. Well, and some other factors like identity at my college and the social connections I made on the way. In the present moment, we don't really do any of that priming work. We have local events, but they're playing something completely foreign to outsiders, in a way that someone who walks in is very inaccessible to the playing experience. Compare this situation to someone who might have been playing the party game variant of Melee for the past year, and they might just pick up a controller. I'm going to elaborate on this later in the video, but let's go back to Matt and TMG. The first bracket consisted of 10 schools, each with at least 5 players. Matt told us to organize them on our campuses or venues nearby, and the ones who couldn't would do it at the weeknight tournament Game Over. There'd always be a crew battle at Game Over, which bolstered its numbers to be a viable event. The state of the scene, in a sense, was created as a result of this TMG organizing, not the other way around. Come as a team to win the crew event, and while you're here, enter singles because why not? Once TMG died down after the semester ended, it left us with the question, now what? Which moved us from the group context to competing one-on-one. In those singles brackets, there would be school rivalries and actual team kills because people were legitimately on the same team prepping for the next TMG. TMG lived on for a while in New England Melee, which made us a huge, thriving community with higher level organization. And I mean huge, like 100 people local's huge. Matt.Zeb made this scene through his activism and outreach. He left an imprint on a lot of us currently approaching the 5-year mark. And with that, RTOs right now are tapping into that same kind of energy, those cultural experiences, when hosting events. These events are starting to echo similar feelings in me that TMG did. We strive for this meaning, and we can sense when it's real. I have confidence our TOs are working to take us back to building culturally significant events that require space, instead of figuring out what to put in space we already have. Now that the stage has been set, I want to go back to priming. In the same vein that I was primed to become a Melee player by playing casual 4-person free-for-alls with my friends, Matt.Zeb primed Melee players for locals through TMG. This lesson, at least in my mind, is so huge for Smash right now. The new Smash documentary is coming out soon. We're going to have an insane amount of potential growth, but only if we can tap it. What we need to do is start organizing to prime regular people who might not have any Smash experience to pick up a controller and play. This is the real ground-up, incremental growth pattern we need to start funneling new players into competitive Smash. Having a massively popular party game version is part of the solution in how we break through. How I suggest we do this is through subtle integration. We find already frequented public and private spaces and add Smash. Think arcade boxes, how Tekken is in every city and every district in Pakistan, link below, and how the old Melee Guard pre-2014 held fests when and where they could. people are much more likely to try if it's in front of them. We need to actually advertise to the public, engage people who are clearly new, and encourage them to play. Lowering the barriers of entry is essential to this whole operation. And it can be done without lowering our competitive integrity. It's something we ought to be doing alongside what we're already doing. Curious people will seek us out as a result of this, especially if a new documentary comes out highlighting us. To recap, in 2014, Matt.Z primed unorganized Melee players to go to singles events through a culturally significant cruise variant of Melee. And for a lot of us, TMG was the goal we set out for when we decided to go to events, but stuck around afterwards anyways. A fair amount of these people were already playing Melee, although just not in public spaces. When you see your numbers, it's empowering. This was in a similar fashion to how my friend at college primed me to play competitive Melee through the use of Melee as a means to socialize. This is why it's so important for TOs to try to create something new through our shared experiences, and why we really need to rethink how we do community outreach. I hope people found this video interesting, really hoping it can spur conversation in the community, but more importantly, I'm hoping it can lead to action and support for more alternative organization methods. I'm also leaving a link to Blur's video on the 10 greatest strengths and weaknesses in the description below, as I view my video as a furthering in the discussion that Blur had here. Thanks, and good luck organizing.
Okay.
Barriers of entry.
Whoa. I'm done with you. So, I think it's a very interesting video. I think he has a really unique perspective, and I think most of it is right, to be honest. If not all of it. This section here, I really want to pinpoint. Barriers of entry is about money. That's basically it. That's, if anybody knows anything I say in the Vegas Melee community, this is usually it. I basically say do Smash Fest over tournaments because they are free and people will show up because of that. I also say public Smash Fest, where everybody can go at a public venue. And by public, I mean not somebody's house or apartment. I think those are better options. Make your tournaments cheaper if you can. Okay, that can help out. Please stop trying to cater to top players when they already don't come with increased local fees. What he means by top players here is, you know, the Mangos and the Westfalls and whoever, the top players that don't come already with the increased fees. Like, don't cater to them if they're already not coming when you have the $5 or $10 entry or whatever. Subscribe to them on Twitch and Patreon if you want to support them directly with your newfound cash, because you're not spending as much at locals. Smart guy. Still support these top players. They still, I mean, giving them support is great. I think, let's see, do I have any I don't really have many critiques about this, besides that he doesn't necessarily offer anything as a solution per se, besides the less money thing. He mentions how veterans pre-2014 were hosting a lot of Smash Fest, so that helped grow quite a bit. That was one of the primers. He has grassroots plus, I guess I would say, social low-level priming together. You got to get those working together somehow. But how? He was talking here. Find spaces, public or private, where a lot of people show up, where we can put Melee. I think this is super smart. I've talked to a few people in Vegas Melee about getting a Vegas Smash booth at First Friday, because I think that would be fantastic for people. It's a cool way for smashers to show up to First Friday and have something to do, and it's also something cool for people that play video games or thought they've been playing Smash for quite a while, think they're good, to you know, show their worth to their friends or whatever. I think this is super super smart. I have yet to watch the Pakistan video, but yeah, I think that's incredibly smart. Um, Other than that, I'm trying to think here. Not too much to really pick apart. As far as Vegas Smash is concerned, we can't really do it with colleges. Um, the melee games, something like the melee games, for example, we can do it sort of, um, but we're more capable at doing the high school end of things simply because of how we're. So the reason why we can't do it how New England Melee did it is because New England Melee was a region. Um, Vegas Smash isn't a region. Um, we don't really have cities near us that would come to us, right? We have Phoenix, which is like 5 hours away, and we have the greater Los Angeles area, which is basically 4 hours away. 6 hours away, depending on what side of the town you are on and traffic. But we can't really access that. We have St. George, which is kind of decently sized, to the north of us, northwest of us, or northeast. Reno is like 8 hours away. So yeah, we can't really do the whole colleges thing. We could, if we hosted a major event, we could bring in these, colleges from out of state. But I think it's more viable for us, also considering how large the Clark County school district is, to do high schools. So I think that should be a focus for Vegas for sure. I do want to go back to this part again as it goes along with this tweet Seagull Joe did talking about size of the pots, right? When he's talking about please stop trying to cater to top players when they already don't come with increased local fees, he's talking about lowering the barriers of entry and increasing priming to help grow the community. For large events, such as a DreamHack, perhaps, or a Big House, or whatever, I don't think that quite applies, because those are people who have sort of already brought themselves to the point where they feel like they have something to prove. We're not necessarily trying to bring in more people with large events, are we? Maybe something like Super Smash Con is the closest thing to like casual or priming event out of all of our major events. It's not really applicable. But I think these are two highly relevant things that can work very well with each other. If you're not priming players well enough, or the population well enough to get more players in, it makes it more difficult to justify larger pots, right? Makes it more difficult to get people to these larger events. However, the success of larger events can also affect the the eyes and ears that get to see what Smash is all about. So there's definitely a lot of bottom up, and there's definitely a lot of bottom up for sure. But we cannot also disregard the top down. But I don't think that has to be completely on players. There's a bunch of sponsorship and partnership opportunities that we're not doing. For example, here, I'm gonna zoom the hell in here. This 32,500 for first place out of a $100,000 prize pool for Brawlhalla. This was the finals for Brawlhalla for this year, which means that there was a circuit going on, which means that the narrative of Brawlhalla was completely centered around one specific tournament, and it was this one right here. So even though 200 people showed up, which is actually quite a bit for Brawlhalla, it had more going for it than just a single event. DreamHack is just a single event. There's no DreamHack champion for Ultimate or Melee, right? The closest we kind of have right now, it's not even quite this, but the closest thing I can compare it to is tennis with its Grand Slams, right? You win Wimbledon, you win the French Open, you win the USA Open, right? That's like the title, and you're the winner of that, and there's a point system and you're ranked or whatever. But I don't think that I don't know. I feel like there has to, if Smash is to grow to the point where $32,000 for first place is not a dream, we have to get a circuit going, right? It just makes too much sense. I don't know why we haven't done it yet. Fuck, the guy from the writer of Elementary, right? He tried to get it started. Why did that die out? Sucks. Apparently Crimson Blur was supposed to be doing something, or somebody was supposed to be doing something about that. But I've heard good news that there might be something like that coming in the future, or at least people working on it. Yeah, I don't know. That's all I got with that. I think this guy who did this video is basically on point. He knows what he's talking about. And I'm going to be taking notes. I'm going to take notes and figure it out. All right, folks. Well, that is it. I don't have much to talk about this week. Kind of unprepared and quick to it. But, yeah. Hope you all have a good week, and keep on Smash Brothersing. Keep on smashing.